Hello, everybody. I'm a practicing therapist and I work with a lot of individuals with attachment wounds. Today, I wanted to go over a topic that was requested regarding an avoidant ex and how they regret leaving you. This is very common because a lot of individuals who are avoidantly attached, they leave based on their trigger. So it's not that they actually determined that they're unhappy. They left because they felt triggered. So often, once the trigger is no longer present and, you guys have separated, they can reflect and recognize they in fact do regret leaving you. And so that's very important to recognize. I think some of these might be a little bit odd and might be hard to understand, or perhaps it was something that was hard as a therapist for me to understand when patients start admitting that they're doing some of these things, because not all avoidants do all of these things. Some avoidant individuals are fine with just reaching out again and mentioning that they want to get back. I see this sometimes, but some avoidants are not so direct about this because it makes them in a very vulnerable position. And so sometimes they behave more like this, which I'm going to explain. And the very first one is they keep tabs on your social media or even interact with you on social media. And this could be just following you on social media again. It could be that they blocked you and now you see that you're unblocked. And so for whatever reason, they are watching your social media, and very likely because either they want to contact you, they want to know how you're doing, or they're thinking about you. And obviously this is not healthy. And usually if I'm noticing this behavior and my patient is saying this, I will mention to them that they need to process what really happened and process their regrets, because this behavior is a form of denial and it's not healthy. Very much so. On to this next one, very similar. They're trying to get your attention passively through social media. Now this one is very annoying, I guess, a very strange behavior that avoidants do have. And not all avoidants do this. I think this is more common with fearful avoidance, if I'm being honest, but I see it with dismissive as well. They're going to try and get your attention by, maybe you guys had a song together in your relationship, like, a song that signifies something, and they're playing that on their story. Oh my gosh, it sounds so silly, but it happens. Or this is really, really common, and this is because I'm a therapist, I hear this, where the patient, who is my patient, their ex wanted them to go to therapy and they never did. But now that they broke up, now they're like telling me that they posted that they're finally going to therapy to heal and grow, to see what their ex would react like, which again is very silly and not healthy. Or they'll say something very directly that's negative to get their ex's attention. So let's say they're a male and their ex is a female and she wore glasses. They might post something like, "Girls who wear glasses are a menace." Like they might tweet it or something, or they may repost a tweet or something like that. And it's just very, or whatever you want to call it now, considering it's whatever that would be considered now that the social media platform has changed. But whatever it is, like they have that linked on there. They may post it. I see it on their stories as well. They'll post it and put a very negative, song in the background. They might write that. And it's just so silly because it doesn't make any sense other than the fact that they're trying to solicit a reaction out of their ex, right? And it can come across where their partner may take it in a couple ways, where their partner may think, okay, my ex doesn't like me, and they may not react, or they may react and crash out, which is what the avoidant is looking for, so that you can reach out to them, so that you guys can get in contact again, but they didn't reach out to you, so they don't have to be vulnerable. It's very silly, but this does happen. So if your ex is doing that, they probably want you to reach out. I'm not telling you to do it, but it's not healthy and it's not fair for you, because they should just tell you that they want you back, right? The next one is much more common with dismissive avoidance, but it happens with fearful as well. And this would be more so, I would say, in the beginning stages of the breakup, but it happens throughout, especially if you're dismissive avoidant. They're very hyper-focused on distractions. So these distractions could be going out with friends more leaning into certain, behaviors that are not healthy. And you're seeing that maybe they're picking up more hours at work, maybe they got a second job, whatever it is, they're leaning into a lot of these distractions because they're trying to avoid the emotional pain of what it feels like without you. And they don't want to face those regrets because then they have to face their own consequences. And sometimes they don't know how to change. And I'm not making that as an excuse, but sometimes they just don't know what to do. And so instead of facing those feelings of failure, they're going to cover it up with some form of distractions. And it doesn't work. It just prolongs the process, which is also why avoidant individuals take very long to get over their exes. The next one, this is more common with fearful avoidance, but I see this with dismissive as well. They jump quickly into the next relationship to try and prove that they are happy. And on top of that, sometimes you'll see like years later, they try and contact you even when they're in that relationship. Not healthy. But the relationship didn't work out. And now they're using this person just to get over you. And it's not fair. It's not fair for the whole situation. It's not fair for you. It's not fair for them. And it's not fair for their partner. So if you are an avoidant and you notice that you're doing this, it's harder at first, but it's easier later to process your feelings and admit that you regret this and to reach out to your partner. Just tell them that you want to get back together. You're afraid because you're probably going to mess up again. Tell them to be lenient on you, whatever you have to do. But living like this is not healthy. It's not healthy to stay in a relationship for a long time while still wanting your ex. It's just not fair. The next one is they may ask about you or talk about you to other people. Fearful avoidance do this more, but dismissive as well. They'll start saying negative things about their ex sometimes. And that's still a sign that they're talking and thinking about their partner. It's not healthy, but it makes them feel close to you, actually. It's their way of processing the feeling without having to directly admit, this is how I feel. This is what's going on with me. I miss this person. I want this person still in my life. They don't want to say that directly. So they're going to talk about you, their ex, whoever, to get it off their chest, right? And the next one, which does happen, is they try to reach out to you without mentioning what they want. So it might be like a text that says, hey, or how are you? Or they may just like try to get attention by liking, a picture from a while ago on Instagram. They're just trying to connect with you somehow without taking responsibility and saying, I want to get, back together. I want to connect with you. I want to make this work. They'll say it more indirectly. However, the last one, which does happen, is they reach out to you and say they want you back. They miss you. They want to give it another try. And if your partner is doing this, I would say that it's important to recognize this is probably a sign that they're ready to make some differences, but probably not going to be perfect. It's important that when you guys do get back together, that you both have to work towards managing some of these original issues you had yourself as in together, but also independently, and determine what of those issues are really worth breaking up again over. Like, you don't want to end up in a cycle. So it's really important to pay attention. Is it really worth fighting over some of the issues, or are some of them you can put on the shelf for later? Okay. So I don't work with a lot of individuals who have exes because I mainly work with like couples or individuals in relationships. So this video is probably going to be quick, but I will expand more as I get more knowledge and just more things that I can think of. Okay. But hopefully this video helps somebody. Please like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.